Marhaba, welcome everyone, bienvenue, bienvenidos. It's the ultimate world music and psychology channel. We go around the world to explore music, psychology, and philosophy. And I have someone really special for you today. Hey everybody, welcome to the ultimate YouTube channel. It's your girl, Rosalie. This is so freaking powerful. Guess what time it is? Let's keep this short and simple, but I had to come on here. So often we're stuck in our own little world, but it's all so much bigger than we realize. We know of the big rappers and artists in the West. Tupac, Jay-Z, Eminem, Dre, Kendrick Lamar, artists that have left their print on the music industry. But many of us don't realize that the world is so much bigger than the West, for one, but that there's also artists out there that are just as talented, just as amazing, but we wouldn't know about it because it's not played on the mainstream media. And I'm here to change that. And today I want to introduce you to an artist from Sudan. Seems to be even the biggest Sudanese rapper that there is. But he is not just any rapper. He has an amazing story. Imagine having to flee from your homeland. Imagine waking up to bombs exploding and gunshots, hundreds of thousands of millions of people being displaced, needing to flee out of fear of their lives. What would you do if you woke up to that? There's an artist named Soulja. Soulja is this Sudanese artist, left Sudan in peace and safely, has since made a name for himself in the music industry, making his official debut in 2020, eventually released a debut album called Deja Vu. And it's said of him that he has this notable variety and playfulness in his music, a lot of diversity, exploration. There's an article where he is referred to as the humble king of Sudanese rap. And since we're all about music and psychology, I'm curious to find out how his story, how the things he's endured and the survival mode he describes play into his music. Will we be able to hear it? Let's find out. Yeah, I'm excited. Here we go.
بتسافري بتخليني في دموع بتسافري بتخليني براي دنيا في عيوني بتظلم ما بقدر اشوف الوراي ومتابع النجوم في السطوح انا قلبي مليان بالجروح وعارف انه كله بيمضي وكله بالايام بيروح.
I'm starting over. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. There's something about seeing the blend of music when you have that beat that starts kicking in, the native instruments and the traditional coming into blend with the beat. Here, even seeing them wear the beautiful tubes and being adorned and dressed in such a reverent way. I respect that kind of stuff. When you can honor your religion, you honor your culture, but you're still blending it in with the music that you're passionate about or the modern day music that speaks to people. Oh my gosh. And there's something also about seeing this group of men, almost I feel like it's a prayer-like move. We know this also from the Jewish community. We see this in Islam. There is something about rocking back and forth, which on a psychological level is therapeutic, right? Just as a mother rocks her baby, but we rock ourselves. The rhythmic motion of rocking can be therapeutic and soothing. It all is all what we naturally do when we listen to music. It ties into prayer and reverence, right? There's so many aspects to that. It's therapeutic, getting to move, the hormones and chemicals that flow through our body that help us feel better. So many aspects to this. But for me, it pulls me in just alone because this is a bunch of men honoring their religion, honoring their faith, their culture, and coming in. And it demands your respect. It beckons my respect. Ooh, I'm going to start over. The name Arkin is inspired by a border crossing between Sudan and Egypt. It says in the caption. It makes me think of sirens.
بتسافري بتخليني في دموع بتسافري بتخليني براي دنيا في عيوني بتظلم ما بقدر اشوف الوراي ومتابع النجوم في السطوح انا قلبي مليان بالجروح وعارف انه كله بيمضي وكله بالايام بيروح عشوائي قاعد ادون فرشة الرسام وبلون انت داير تشوفني متجنن امي دايرة تشوفني متحنن الحمد لله نحنا بالزنا ما في حاجة بتهزنا بنهز البيزنا بنركب جانا اللي استفزنا وتعبنا ليالي سهرنا الليل الليل واحلامنا جميعا نشيل السيل عجب رغم الشوق بالحيل بالحيل وكلام الليل ده كلام الليل يا الله عايشين جوا غابة، يا الله الناس بقت كعبة وكضابة، يا الله في قلبي مليون إصابة بغني لحبيبتي ولشعب الغلابة. يا الله حربين الدليل خالص وكلام الدنيا لما خالص، وانت الدراما كوين خالص وانا راسي حاليا ما ناقص. 20 دقيقة واكون في الست، مش فارقة كانت بلاك والريد، اسمي دايما لافي في الانترنت because I know how to kill this shit. وتعبنا ليالي سهرنا الليل، الليل واحلامنا جميعا نشيل السيل عجب رغم الشوق بالحيل وكلام الليل ده كلام الليل.
Wow. Oh. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Ooh, this was good. Okay, musical composition. I love this. I love that not dubstep per se, but that the lo-fi vibe, heavy on the beat, the rhythmic elements that tap into the more modern, blended with, beautifully married to the traditional. And the ancient, to culture, to religion. Beautifully, even the musical composition from the tambourines and the various instruments used to that EDM-like, trap-like beat. Okay, I can see where in the descriptions about this artist, about Soulja, you would see he blends worlds. And to me, that's so artistic. We hear sometimes rap or hip hop and we think one lane. We think, that's not for me, or we're big rap fans. Some of us love the literary art in the language when they can play with words. Other times we appreciate the beats. Others don't consider it music. You have so many opinions about music. But for me, nothing is just one thing. We like to box in because it makes us feel safe to give a label and a name. But even with music, you find so many marriages and blends of things where cultures and music has influenced each other over the years. Blowing my mind because I thought he was just going to go rap. And since he is singing and rapping in Arabic, I knew I wouldn't be able to understand all the wordplay, right? When you hear a song in English, and English is your main language, you can hear the rhyming or the wordplay. When it's something is not your language, you have to rely on translation and on the emotion, right? Even in translation, things get lost. Idioms and phrases and double meanings. And so I love how this musical composition was so much more than I expected. It wasn't just a straight beat, somebody rapping, saying a few things that may or may not be literally artistic. It was fresh. It was such a fresh beat, and it pulled me in, almost entrancing me. I love how at the beginning and the end, almost like a frame, full circle, you had that siren-like horn, and it made me think of sirens going off as a country, a city is being bombed, as war is breaking out and people have to flee, waking up to terror. Those things will stick with you. They will change who you are. And we have an artist here who has lived life and has experienced hardships, and he is turning this and his experience with the world, his reality, into music. So it's not only such a wonderful way, a therapeutic way to process what we've been through in life, it's also such a beautiful way of relating to other people, showing other people, hey, you're not alone. The music video, beautiful and vibrant and colorful. I love that the word arakin seems to be a reference or a play on the word that is also, as I said earlier, the border, inspired by the border crossing between Sudan and Egypt. So to me, having a word, I think it may also be relatable as insomnia, but I'm not sure. Maybe I read that wrong, but I think so. Maybe insomnia. He spoke of the night as well in his lyrics. He spoke of, what were the words? These night talks. I don't know if that's the best English translation. If you speak Arabic, please tell me in the comments. Help me understand the meaning. But to me, having a word that is both a play on insomnia, being up all night, these night talks, working through things at night, as well as a word that could be inspired by a border between two countries, I think, to me, plays on this idea of having to leave your home, right? Say, for example, traveling from Sudan to Egypt, traveling from one country to another. This play on border being something that connects but also separates two places. And then looking at this in the music video, these vibrant colors, the beautiful culture, you have these two rooms. You had a room of all men in their beautiful tubes dancing and praying and having a lot of reverence. Maybe also a nod to his religion, to his home and heritage. He then steps into another room, right? Going from Sudan to Egypt, going from one place to another, physically and psychologically in our growth as we experience life, as we move through life and we cross borders in life, change happens. We go from experiencing ourselves through the lens of our religion to the lens of our community, our relationships. Here, a room filled with people eating and women dancing and men and women making music. And it's fun and colorful. There's still dance going on. In the first room, there was prayer and dance. In the second room, there's dance and celebration. There's things that both rooms had in common, and there's things that were different, right? Here, only men. There, men and women. Here, prayer. Here, party. Okay, so you have this dichotomy of differences and similarities, almost like your Venn diagram. And hear him speaking of these night talks. And I feel like this is also maybe his way of dealing with what he has experienced and how that keeps him up at night. How even sometimes the way he was acting, dancing and partying and having fun. I know how to kill this. You know, he's bringing in some of that culture when we look at rap and hip hop where people like to flex and be playful and, oh, I got it. Look how I can do this. I'm the best, you know, playfully bantering. And then everybody just dancing around him almost as if he's getting dizzy and in a trance, and almost as if he is not necessarily intoxicated, but getting lost in the party and the events. And when he speaks of the torrent, and he speaks of these night talks and our dreams being carried away by the torrent, to me, while in the video we're seeing him partying and being carried away by the music and by the fun and the torrent, the people, the music, right? When the waves pick you up and they just sweep you away, you get lost in fun and in life. This happens to all of us. We get lost in our day-to-day, in our work, our responsibilities. If we go out to party, we want to get lost in the music and be carefree. But I feel like here it's also fitting to speak of a torrent because it makes me think of the ocean, and it makes me think of a body of water where people, often refugees, this is almost going to make me cry. Their dreams are, how did he word it? We get tired at night. We stay up at night. Our dreams are carried away by the torrent. You know, a lot of refugees who have had to cross the ocean, bodies of water, who were literally carried away by the torrent. That wasn't just them fighting for survival to get away from war and to find shelter somewhere and to make a new life and to have dreams. We all have dreams. But it was also their dreams being carried away because maybe they did have dreams to have a family in their homeland. Maybe they had dreams to have a business there and to see their friends grow up with one another and their children to grow up with their own friends. But here you have to leave into another country and your dreams are being carried away. Everything's shattering. So for me, this is a really powerful way to look at that duality of both fun and the dreams we have and getting lost in the party and everyone dancing in circles around him and we get lost in the torrent. But this double entendre of also going, this is also my real life experience. My dreams being carried away by the storm, by the torrent and the waves of life. Being up all night. You know, we got tired. We stayed up all night. Again, maybe this is just a way of looking at having a party. We stay up all night. We're dancing all night. But I feel like this is deeper because this also deals with the trauma you experience when you are running away, when you're trying to find refuge, when you're fleeing from war and from suffering. And I feel like he did such justice to his culture, to his story. Even sentences like the lyrics, "The world is dark in my eyes, I can't see behind me, and I follow the stars on the rooftops." Okay, the heart is full of wounds. I know that it all passes. Everything goes away. I'm sitting with the paintbrush and the color. Maybe also a way of saying, I'm trying to make something beautiful out of my suffering. I'm trying to make an art, a masterpiece. And that's beautiful because some people, you know, we look to God and say, God will make something beautiful out of my story. He is the painter. For some of us, we look at it and say, I'm the painter of my story. I got to make something nice. Or even here when he speaks of mother wants me to be compassionate, and you want to see me crazy. I also feel like maybe this talks a bit about how immigrants and foreigners are often looked at, especially often Muslims who we have stereotypes about, and we assume, oh, they must be violent, oh, they must be terrorists, and we want to see them crazy, almost to go, aha, I told you. And here, this is a person, somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's son, saying, you might want to see me crazy. My mom wants me to be compassionate. That duality of how the world views us, and the assumptions we have about immigrants, refugees, and foreigners, people that look different than us, but also making it personal and saying, hey, I'm a person, I'm somebody's son. This is what my mom expects of me. I think many of us can relate to that. I feel like such a powerful, amazing way to show people, hey, we might be different, but we're also very much alike. And if for a moment we can put aside these the confusion and the division that the media wants to bring, and all the polarization, thinking we have to pick a side, to realize we are all human. And we know what it's like to suffer, some of us more than others. It's not easy to figure out who you are and where you belong and not feeling like you quite fit in 100% anywhere. Imagine coming to the other side of the world in a country that is completely different than what you know. And then now even looking different than everybody else and experiencing that opposition. What an amazing way and what a cool play on words to talk about both the idea of being up all night and insomnia and struggling, but also partying, as well as looking at that border crossing between two countries. And ultimately, for me, this message of the border, as I said earlier, what combines us and what divides us. And we get to decide what that is. Is it going to be something we can cross to reach one another? Or is the border going to be something we put up to separate one another? It's freaking awesome. You guys have to go check out Soulja. Go to his YouTube. I already subscribed, and go subscribe to his channel. You can also find him on Instagram, Soulja Music. Let's go support him and listen to his music. Let's go check him out on TikTok and on X. Go check him out. Go subscribe to him. Leave him a comment. If you found him, if you heard of this artist for the first time through this channel, go let him know, please. Go tell him that Rosalie sent you and that we love and we support him. This is freaking amazing. What do you think about this one? Comment below, and I will see you on the next ride.
السلع يبرغ ثم الشوق بالحيل وكلام الليل ده كلام الليل ده كلام الليل.
Ayo! Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!